welcome back to my channel. Spent the last few days cleaning. I just had another OB/GYN appointment today. Everything's good. The only thing I gotta start changing now, and I put together my meal plan for it, I've got to start cutting back on sodium. My hips, so from my hips down, basically I'm getting numb, and it's like falling asleep numb. It's not sciatic, because if it was sciatic, there would be pain that would follow along with it, and there's no pain. At least not in that part. My back still hurts, but not. I know what sciatic pain feels like. I've had it before. It's not that. My feet have been swelling, so the midwife is guessing it's probably water retention. So this is the time I'm probably just going to cut back on sodium now. So I've tailored a lot of my recipes this week with lower sodium on emeals, and that's one of the features that I like about emeals, is that I can look at the calories, carbs, saturated fats, trans fats, I think those two are on there, and then sodium and serving sizes and whatnot. So that's gonna help me for this week. And there are meals on there that actually look good. They're mainly tortilla meals, but whatever. So fun thing that's been happening in her room, and don't mind, it's a little, well, it's got my go bag in here. It's a little messy. So starting yesterday, I think I noticed it around 4. Let's do that. There we go. I think I noticed it around 4 yesterday. Her light was on. And I asked James, I was like, hey, have you been in Callie's room? And he said, no. And it's not like the dog just came in here and did it, because I usually keep that gate closed. Of course he's in here now, but I keep the gate closed. So I look back on the camera, and like within a 20-minute window of like at 1 o'clock, the light turned on to the very first setting, which is that. Okay, so I was like, all right, well, that's a little weird. I just kind of left it on, and I didn't think anything of it. Everything looked like this, okay? Note where the remote is. Well, it might be a little bit. It was about that location yesterday. A little later on, I came back in here. Just I don't know. I went to go put something in here, and then the TV was on, and I was really weirded out by that. I'm like, okay, I don't know what's going on with that. I moved. I was like, okay, that's really weird. James thinks that maybe somebody has another Roku, and maybe it triggered it to turn on a Roku TV and triggered it to turn on. It's a Fire TV. So he's thinking that maybe somebody has a Fire TV and it turned on that way. I don't know. But I woke up at my early fashion like I normally do now. And at 5:30 this morning, after we turned the light off, we turned the TV off, we turned the light off. At 5:30 this morning, this light was back on, and it was to that setting. So to get to that setting, you have to go 1, 2. You have to tap it 2 times for it to get to that setting. And I was really fucking weirded out by that. But I tried to chalk it up to this. I had this plugged in, the USB plugged in to right there. And I was thinking, maybe the camera triggered the light somehow. So I turned it back off. Today, about 20 minutes, oh, let's see. Today, about 20 minutes ago, that light was back on. And it was to that setting. So to get to that setting, what you just saw me do, I had to touch it 1, 2, 3 times to get to that setting. Now this doesn't do continuous recording, but it did catch like a 20-minute window on when the light turned on. It didn't turn the exact time when it came on, but it did catch a time frame. Usually like when I close the door out front, it might trigger this camera to say like there was a boom in the room or something, or some sort of sound. And then usually it records for a brief few moments. Well, between that 20-minute time, that light turned on. So at this point, I'm trying not to get too weirded out. I looked it up on touch lamps turning on by themselves, and it's a possibility of humidity could trigger those lights to turn on. I did have a humidity bag in here, and it was up on their little wind catcher thing that I made, and it was full. So I ordered more humidity bags that I'll be picking up later this afternoon when I go to pick up my groceries, that I'll throw another humidity bag in here. So maybe the humidity triggered it. I don't know. I also, what I did too is I moved these bears. Maybe the bears were catching some humidity and no, I don't, no, that's not doing it. Okay, so I don't know why it turned on. It's weirding me out a little bit. Normally it's whatever, I don't think about it. But I know that, I do know that the original owner of this house did die in this house. So it's just really weird. I got this lamp, it's not an old lamp, I got it in May. And it's been fine up until these last 2 days. Between the lamp and the TV going off like that, it's like, it's got me weirded out. So, I'm not trying to have an Annabelle situation in here, but I'm gonna keep an eye on this and kind of just go in here throughout the day. Keep an eye on the camera. I can't control when the camera, triggers it to go on. Maybe if I point the, no, it's alright. But yeah, so I mean, this light doesn't, I don't know, is this light plugged in? Okay, so that one's plugged in. So that one's fine. Something about touch. So I'm gonna chalk it up to humidity for now, because I don't want to weird myself out. I'll put another humidity bag in here. But if that TV goes on again, I'm gonna lose my So yeah, that's something I've been dealing with the last couple days. I'm not trying to jump to any weird spiritual conclusions, but it did weird me out a little bit, especially with me getting so close to birth. I only got a few weeks left before she's here, so it just did weirded me out just a smidge. So Jaeger, you need to vacate out of here. Like, move, go outside. You don't need to be in here. Go on, go on. All right, so we're gonna turn all this off. Everything is gonna go off. Remote is up here. Camera there. Everything is off. It is 1:51 in the afternoon. Right now, what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna make some lunch. I bought some salmon the other day. Big heaping fillet of salmon. And I'm gonna cook that real quick. And that's gonna be my lunch. And then around 5, I need to pick up groceries. So yeah, I was gonna do the carpets. I might do the carpets a little bit later. I need to pull them up. I need to find the sticky stuff that keeps the carpet from slipping around. It's out in the garage somewhere, and the garage is a freaking nightmare. This house is becoming overwhelming with me right now. I need to clean it up. But the garage is a freaking nightmare right now because James is working on one of the vehicles that he just bought recently. All right, so for lunch today, I'm doing salmon, skin on. I always get salmon with skin on. I like to cook it that way. Oh, we'll do quinoa. I need to get rid of some of this quinoa. Quinoa should be rinsed thoroughly before cooking. I have beef broth I'm gonna use. None of the recipes this week call for beef broth. This freaking floor, I swear to God, I just cleaned it yesterday. I deep cleaned it yesterday. I'll take a cup of beef broth. Put it in with this quinoa. I like saying quinoa. I put olive oil in this pan. I'm gonna preheat that. my God, this floor. I'm gonna rip this floor out before she's even born, basically. That's where I'm at right now. It is impossible to keep clean. Do some salt and pepper. I'm not doing a lot because I gotta watch my sodium. You still need sodium though to function. Just not gonna douse it in sodium. Do some parsley and dill weed. Another thing I'm gonna do is a garlic and butter mix. But this I'm gonna brush on as it's cooking because I should have put this on. I should have put the garlic butter mix on before I put all the dry ingredients on. That was my fault. Do about a clove and I throw it in. Just kind of mix that together a little bit. All right, so I got my butter garlic mix. I'll put the salmon on. Let that sit in there. This was my fault. I should have done that before. It's fine. So the butter will melt, kind of disperse itself all over the fish. Put that on top. Okay, so I'm gonna let this heat. I'm gonna check it in about 8 minutes to see where it's at. In the meantime, I'm gonna clean this damn floor again. You like how fancy I get with the disposable paper Walmart plates? Anyways, I'll do a little bit of lemon on top. And I'm gonna throw that in the garbage disposal because then I can use that to clean the garbage disposal. I just have another lemon in case I need it. I doubt I'll need it. All right, my lunch for today is done. So I did salmon with butter and garlic mixed together, drizzled on top, let that melt in while it was cooking. Then dill weed, dried dill weed, salt, pepper, and parsley flakes. And then I did quinoa, and I did the quinoa in a beef broth. Quinoa is good. I would like more sodium on it, but I'm cutting back on sodium right now because that's what doctor said to do. All right, so let's see the salmon flakes. Yep, it's good. All right, so that was my quick lunch. It took maybe, the longest part of it was the quinoa, but that took me maybe 20 minutes total to do. I was also cleaning this damn floor again while that was going on. Let's check on the baby room. Is anything on in here? No, we're still good. It's 2:25, nothing's turned on yet. All right, so I got my damp rid stuff for that room. Hopefully I don't have any more unexplained incidences with the lights or the TV or something. I'm hoping maybe it's humidity related, I don't know. So far so good, everything looks the same in here. 5:59 in the afternoon. So I think we're gonna do cast iron carne asada tacos tonight. I'll post a link in the description. James is gonna be home probably by the time I am cooking this. So I'll probably go on silent mode with this and have to voice over or do my little notes on the video. So I need to cut this roast up because I only need a pound and this is 7.36 pounds. So I need to cut this up. So you know I'm gonna vacuum seal and freeze a lot of this. All right, for this recipe, it called for sliced bell pepper and onion medley. I made my own medley because I had to substitute the onion for onion powder. So I just used a yellow and orange pepper that I had in the fridge. Another thing that this recipe called for was pouch boil in the bag brown rice. I had white rice, so that's what I'm using for this recipe. And then teaspoon less sodium taco seasoning. I had just regular taco seasoning, and then fresh chopped cilantro. So this is the side that I'm making right now. I'm boiling the rice and I added the seasoning after the rice was done cooking. So I realized I forgot to hit the record on my camera when I was making the pepper and I was seasoning the skirt steak. So the skirt steak I pre-seasoned with the taco seasoning and some salt, and then I added it to the cast iron. Well, I added it to the skillet, it's not really cast iron. And then with some hot oil and let that cook for about 6 to 8 minutes per side until the desired doneness. The one mistake that I did do was I cut it with the grain. You're supposed to cut it against the grain. When you cut it with the grain, it comes out as tough. And I realized that afterwards, and I made a comment about it later on. The next thing you're supposed to do, basically I was supposed to add the steak to the bell pepper, but I kind of did it backwards. I just put the steak back in the pan that I had it cooking in, and then I added the bell pepper mix in there along with lime juice, and I think, yeah, it was just like a tablespoon of lime juice. I kind of eyeball it as usual, and then just you stir until blend. Stirring until blended, that's what I meant. Next thing the instructions said to do was to warm the tortillas according to package directions and then serve tortillas with salsa. The rice in this dish could have used more flavor. It was very bland. Ridiculous. I'm done with that. I'm done with it. So to finish my video last night, I did it on silent mode because, well, we had Die Hard playing in the background, so I'm sure YouTube wouldn't like hearing Die Hard in the background. And to James's home, so I don't like talking to a camera when he's here. When anybody's here rather. I slept in a little bit later today. Well, kinda. I woke up at 4:30 this morning, and you'll see the light did turn back on today. So you know what's happening with the light now? So I unplugged it and the light is no longer here. I ordered a new light. It looks very similar, except this time it is a pull string one. I'm not dealing with a touch screen because I am not gonna sit here and debate if my baby's room is haunted or not. So if you want a free lamp, it's outside my house, but just know that it may have a touch sensitivity issue where it might make you start contemplating whether your house is haunted or not. That's still to be up to debate because the TV did turn on by itself that same day that the light started turning on by itself. So if the TV starts turning on by itself, I'm gonna get rid of the TV and I'll have a free TV out in front of my house too. And then I'm just gonna get a new TV because I am not dealing with that. I don't need that in my life right now, and I am gonna ignore it. And you know what? Any spirits here, actually the person that died here, the original owner that died here, you're gonna have to deal with me, all right? I'm not going anywhere. Cost of living, you're stuck here with me. We'll cohabitate, but you're more than welcome to stay, but don't be freaking me and my kid out. Anyways, last night's dinner. Oh yeah, cast iron carne asada taco. Carne asada tacos. It was good. I made a mistake on my part because, well, first off, I was supposed to use flank steak. They didn't have flank steak. It was skirt steak that was available. So that was my closest substitution. And it was tough. And the reason it was tough is because I didn't realize skirt steak's one of those steaks that you're supposed to cut a different way than what I cut. I guess you're not supposed to cut with the grain on skirt steak. Anyways, I will post a link for that recipe. Thank you for watching.